Yo, what's going on? What's happening? Today I'm, sipping on some iced tea. Now, for those that don't know, and here in the South, beverage of choice in the summer is either iced tea or lemonade. Now, this ain't Big Mama's iced tea. It's not. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in drinking my diabetes. You understand that? This right here is my version of iced tea. What I mean by my version is I use date sugar. And if I don't have date sugar, I use agave, in order to sweeten my iced tea. And no. I don't use pound town, a pound of refined bleach white sugar in my iced tea. You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't crucify me just because I don't like drinking diabetes. All right, let's go. Polight. For those that have followed Polight for years, you know that he's a scammer. But now we can add something else to his, title. He touches little children. So for those that don't know, Polight is a scammer. He is our charlatan, our modernized charlatan, our street scholar, black leader, black cult leader. His spiritual father, you learn from the best. His spiritual father is dr.york, someone that he looks up to. That at least at one point in time, he claimed, Polight that is, that he was a student of the master teacher being Dr. York. So being that Polight's spiritual father is Dr. York, I guess we can say like father, like son. Because Dr. York is serving 135 years for doing the same thing that Polight has done, which was touching little kids. Real talk. So this situation happened 2 years ago where Polight, it's supposed to have been a lady friend, of his. Her daughter, which at the time was a minor, 14 years old, Polight convinced the mother to take the daughter somewhere. Where Polight took the daughter is not where he told the mother he was going to take the daughter to, right? Polight, make a long story short, Polight winds up taking the daughter to a hotel and the R word, touches her and improperly and all the rest of that stuff. The M, the CM, I don't like using these titles and stuff like that. I don't want to be flat, but he touched the little girl. You understand? And for the last 2 years, his attorney, Polight that is, have been continuing this court case up until May of this year, right? So May of this year, the judge said there's no more continuance and we're going to set in motion for a pretrial, right? So fast forward to June the 21st or the 22nd of this past week, Polight had his last, court date or whatever have you. In between May, his last court date, and now, there was a plea agreement on the line. The prosecution had put a plea agreement on the table in which Polight's attorney agreed to the plea agreement. Now, I want to stop right here. Whether Polight admitted that he did it or took a plea deal, in my eyes, he's guilty. No matter what the plea agreement is, if it has something to do with him. Like, in other words, what I'm saying is, if you're innocent, why are you wheeling and dealing? Let me explain something to you. I don't care if I was forced, coerced. I don't care what kind of pain they put up against me, money, jail time, no matter what. I will never admit to something that I didn't do, one, and two, admit that I touched little children, because that is the worst thing that you can admit to. And he, Polight, that is, agreed to the plea agreement. So we don't know what the plea agreement is. We'll know that in the next court date, July the 3rd. But overall, here it is, another black leader that has turned his back against the black community. And once again, we all put our, as you know, the saying goes, our eggs in one basket. And this is crazy to me because this is an ongoing thing in the black community. It's a pattern where we are always looking for someone to save us. When dealing with religion, our savior is Jesus Christ. When dealing with racism and just the ills of society, we tend to pick one particular black leader every so odd years. We don't protect that black leader. We put all our faith and trust in that black leader. So if that black leader turns out to be another Polight, then guess what? We're ass out again. Why? Because we're focused on one person trying to rescue us instead of that one person that's trying to rescue you. Instead of looking from the outside, instead of looking for that one person trying to rescue you in Polight and Dr. Umar and Sinetta and the likes, why not look for that one person that's trying that you want to rescue you in you? Because the reality of it is there's always gonna be a charlatan, a scammer in our community. Dr. Malachi Z. York was my version of a scammer. And in this day and time, Polight and Dr. Umar Johnson is your version of it. Real talk. And what we have to do is we have to hold these so-called street scholars, black leaders, cult leaders, black cult leaders accountable. Stop falling for their charm. Stop falling for the cars and the clothes, the glitter that you see coming from Polight. And ask real, serious, tough questions. Like, all jokes aside, Dr. Umar, because let's just be real. We've literally fell in love with Dr. Umar's personality. There's not a time where on my feed a Dr. Umar video comes on and I don't look at it. Why? Because every time I look at Dr. Umar, a smile is on my face. Last time I seen him, he farted in the middle of a fucking video that he was doing. Talking about, pardon me, excuse him why, and got up and opened up a window. Oh, he is funny as hell. But there's a time and a place for laughter. And this ain't the time and the place. The time and the place now is tough questions. Dr. Umar Johnson, all jokes aside, when are you gonna open up this school? The Frederick Douglass School that you've been taking in donations for since 2013, if I'm not mistaken? When? Young Pharaoh said he was gonna open up a daycare. Where's the daycare at? Polight said he was, you know how many scams Polight has ran on us? The last scam was those box cars. You know, like the train that, you know, the box cars that's connected to the trains. He was talking about renovating box cars and turning them into affordable housing for black people in Ohio. And that shit fell through because he didn't own any of the freight box cars that he was recording. He had nothing to do with that project. In other words, y'all not hearing me. And it pisses me off when y'all are not hearing me. Because I feel as though that I'm wasting my time. But Polight people such as Polight, your black leaders, your black, not all of them, your black leaders, your black preachers, yo, seriously, They're in the business of selling you false hope. Real talk. And you all eat that shit up every time they sell it to you. And I'm sitting here shaking my head like, man, these people don't even realize that who they're looking at. You know, a phenom. That's what y'all call Polight. Highly intelligent. What y'all are looking at? It's not a teacher. He's not even here to help the black community. Who you're looking at when you're looking at a Dr. Umar, a young Pharaoh, a Polight, and if I was on that type of vibe, potentially me, you're looking at master manipulators. Yes, there are people that have mastered the art of controlling your mind. Real talk. And for those that have, you know, a little bit of knowledge, the reason why I know what they're doing is because people such as Dr. Umar Sanetta, Young Pharaoh, Polight, and the likes, we all have drunk out of the same mental reservoir. In other words, what I'm saying is the same information that they relay to you all, I've studied. We all are basically the same age, Dr. Umar, Polight, and I. Matter of fact, I was a student of Dr. York before Polight was. And I can honestly say, I've been to the land. I've literally physically seen Dr. York teach on the land several times. I've been to the land Tamaray several times. And I'm telling you, if you study and if you allow consciousness to become your hustle, you can be just like Dr. Umar and the likes. Polight as well. Straight up. Anyone that has a little bit of business, straight up, that's a little bit of business minded and that has a little bit of information and knowledge about a lot of things. You combine that too, you can easily manipulate people just like Dr. Umar and Polight. Straight up, I'm here to tell you, it's going to get to the point where you're going to forget about Dr. Umar building that Frederick Douglass High School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You're going to forget about that. And then when I bring it up, you all black folks are going to defend him. He's not going to even be able to talk. Why? Because you all have fell in love with his personality, not with the things that he has done for the black community, because what has he done? What has Polight done? What has Sanetta done? What has Young Pharaoh done for the black community? Besides, give you irrelevant information. At least when you're on this channel. Yeah, I shoot the shit. Yeah, I talk about Atlanta. Yes, I talk about Charlotte. Yeah, every now and then I gossip. But through all of the bullshit, at least you're getting something. When I talk about health, when I encourage you all to eat better, to drink right, to drink more water, to pay attention to your politicians, to politics, to pay attention to the religion that you're following, and making sure that it's the right religion for you, and that you're not a follower of man, but you're a follower of your God. You see, people such as myself, that's sincere, that really wants to see change and growth in our community, we don't get the views. We don't get to drive the nice cars. We don't get to wear the nice clothes. You know, I've been told several times, chastised, I ain't gonna say told, chastised, picked on, because I'm inside my closet trying to get you all right. But no one is thinking this way. No one. I don't have to do this shit. I don't literally have to be in a closet taking time out of my life to educate Some of you all on things that you don't know. Wouldn't it make sense for someone that's looking out for you to look out for me? But nah, you'll rather just me suffer. And that's the reason why I can never be. I like the 5%ers. I like what they stand for. But I can never be one. You want to know why? Because y'all motherfuckers will have me up here as a poor, righteous teacher. And ain't no way in the hell I'ma be that. And I guess that's the reason why Dr. Umar, people such as Dr. Umar and Polight, maybe they took a turn for the worse because of the fact that they caught on that there's no profit in waking the dead up, or rather black folks. That the real profit is being a fake prophet. That's something that I don't agree with. That's something that I would never do. But I will say this, for the ones that's really putting in that work, you gets nothing. But for the ones that's misleading the people, the Pied Pipers of the world, they get the fortunes. They get the fame. They get the love from the people. And this is the reason why I really don't want to be black. It's embarrassing. Why? Because black people love those that treat them like shit and give them nothing. And they despise and hate people that want to look out for them, that care about them, that will literally say, yo, I love you, and I just want to see the best for us as a people. Nah, they don't want that. It is what it is, man. For those that are really on that right path, that righteous path, and what I mean by righteous path is that journey within, stay away from these people. Stay away from these negative cherubim. Yeah. Disagreeable. They're the real reptilians personified. Stay away from your young pharaohs, your Dr. Umars, your Dr. Malachi Yorks, your Sinettas, and your Polights. Because they're going to lead you into a path of destruction.